everyone. I'm Danielle Knight, and I can't wait for this interview. I have my very, very good friend, Phaedra McAllan, here with me. She is a New Jersey, USA teacher. I'm not going to say for like forever, but she is a veteran staff member where she teaches. Who here can relate? Yes, there's many veterans here watching tonight because we want to see what the setup is at home for those of us that have to teach virtually. And for many of us, we will also have virtual learners at home with us this fall. Just like the spring, but this time you've had a lot of time to prepare, probably overthink a ton of things. You're all very overwhelmed with technology. Don't worry, because Phaedra is going to show us her home classroom, which is not loaded with technology. She's going to show us a lot of hands-on things that she's got going on. You're going to love it. So our audience tonight is going to be filled with veterans, newbies, probably some substitutes watching tonight. Get ready. Here we go. Phaedra, I'm so happy you're here with us. Isn't she great? I love Phaedra. So I've known Phaedra I don't want to date us, but it's been probably 30 years. Yes. And our spouses are good friends. They even lived together many years ago. Yeah. So every time we get together, they always have stories for us. Many of the stories we've heard several times. Right? So, Faye, tell us about yourself. Tell us about your teaching career, your undergrad studies, and your travels as an educator.
Okay, well, hi, I'm Phaedra. I've been teaching for 25 years in the same district. North Central New Jersey is the area where I teach, and I basically taught elementary. I've had a long experience with kindergarten, first grade. I taught third grade for over 9 years, and currently I'm teaching fourth grade, which I'm really enjoying, especially 25 years into my career. I'm just really enjoying this age group. And I graduated from Seton Hall University with a teaching and psychology degree, and my education further than my undergraduate has been a lot of online work and study and certificates, mainly within my district. My district has been great with providing a lot of professional development, and I've kept up with that. And I've also made sure to engage in professional development on my own. Particularly, I was talking with Danielle prior to this with Microsoft education. That's what right now we're primarily focusing on in my district as far as a virtual platform within our classrooms and outside of the classroom for remote learning. So Microsoft Teams plays a big role in what I'm facilitating for my students and for myself.
With the switch to Microsoft Teams, did you say you experienced it last year, or this is going to be the first time coming up this school year?
I experienced it last year for myself personally the first time. Although the prior years, we were in the process of using Microsoft Teams and we were encouraged to use it, but we were also, as a district, in the process of more professional development with Microsoft Teams. Therefore, when I returned to fourth grade for these past 3 to 4 years, that's when I was able to increase the use of Microsoft Teams to get more training. So last year was really my first year utilizing it. So I do have a good handle on it. I do feel confident, but there's more I need to learn in order to really facilitate that live instruction.
Right.
So by this virtual remote classroom, I'm hoping provides me with that positive background and those tangible resources so that I can utilize Microsoft Teams, that platform, to the best of my ability and to really engage the kids. I really want the kids to start off on the right foot and feel confident and secure.
So one of the things that I loved about your setup, and the reason why I had you on today to talk about this, is because you were when you set up your virtual classroom at home, you really set up a learning space where your students coming back in September will actually meet Ms. McAllan and actually get a feel for what you're going to be like when they get to see you in person. And I really loved the setup. You weren't all about like, we all love the Bitmoji classroom. I get it. But you spent time actually setting up a space. And we're going to take a look at that in a few moments. So tell us where the space is in your house. Now, keep in mind, our audience doesn't all have the luxury of having a space, but I want everyone to take a look at how Phaedra set up her space and think about where they live. They could take a kitchen table. They could take a corner in the dining room. You know, I don't know about the garage for a lot of people, but if there's a space, you know, you could put up a fake whatever. Teachers, we're good at improvising, right? All right, so Faye, let's talk about your setup. Where in the house is it?
Okay, so as you said, Danielle, fortunately, I have a finished basement, and I have a specific room in my basement that I like to call the craft room.
Yes.
And it provides everything for myself and my children, although my two sons are grown. My daughter is going into fifth grade for this September. So this craft room really has always been a place that I facilitated hands-on anything, whether it be science or art or anything education. If I ever had to even tutor my own daughter, or sometimes a couple of the neighborhood kids have come over and I've helped them. So when I was thinking about this concept of I really need an at-home classroom, I knew this was the perfect space. But what I did, which lends itself to what you suggested to anyone that doesn't have space, I did utilize a specific corner of this space. So it's a larger space, but I made sure to focus on a smaller portion of it, because as we know, when we're doing anything virtually, whether it's live instruction or it's recorded, you do need a smaller space for those kids to be able to focus on. And as you were also saying, I do love the Bitmoji concept, and I love the virtual classroom concept, but for my live instruction, I wanted the kids to feel like they were walking into
Yes.
my actual classroom. So many of these kids had thought about all last school year, oh, I might have Miss McAllan for fourth grade. So when I instruct them, especially live, I want to be able to show them that I created something at home that they're welcome to be a part of. And I want to connect with them. I want them to feel emotionally safe. I want them to feel confident and comfortable with the fact that we're going to be together and we're going to be a learning family, because
Right.
that's what I always tell my kids.
Right.
We're day of school, we're a family. We're together over 6 hours a day, and although we'll be home initially, it's still a stretch of time. And
Right.
I want them to see some of the authentic like bulletin boards and materials that I know they were expecting to see if they had physically stepped into my classroom, that first week of September. So that's where this vision came from, and that's how I guided all my decisions and the planning and the creating.
So during our interview right now, I'm going to do a screen share and show our audience photos that you sent me. I put them together. So Phaedra will talk about the photos as I put them up to give you an idea of how she set up her classroom.
Okay, so with this photograph from this angle of my remote classroom, I just decided I wanted a couple of my paintings up there, one for my daughter, one for myself, because these are items that I always have in my classroom at my school. And then I decided definitely United States map. I think that's just
Okay.
just pull to do schedules. Of course, I don't have everything up yet because I'm still waiting for all of those schedules and my class list to be finalized. So, I'll add those finishing touches right before school starts.
Okay. So let's take a look at the next slide.
Great. Okay, so here is where you can get a better picture or view rather of that math bulletin board. Again, it's just simple, but for me, I can throw up a specific objective. I can put a math anchor chart up there that relates to the specific skill that I'm teaching or the kids are practicing or learning. And then that's the bulletin board with my personal schedule. It has a couple to-do lists. And then you're going to see in one of the future pictures the bulletin boards to the right a bit better.
Okay.
Okay, there they are.
Yes, I love this. Okay, we have a lot to say about this.
Yes, this is definitely, this is where I started. Okay, so the 3 bulletin boards that you see here are where I started, and the 2 black bulletin boards, the top one is to welcome them. So those little starbursts each will have a name, a student's name, because I'm sure most teachers do, always have the students' names displayed in the classroom somewhere. For me, it's always the classroom door and then various other places inside. And then I'm hoping with that to actually receive a digital photo of each of the children from their parents. That's obviously appropriate to send. And I'd like to continue a display so that we actually have photographs as well. And then below is my ELA bulletin board. So for reading, again, an anchor chart, maybe a reference with vocabulary words or a specific objective. And the whiteboard is the focal point for the daily schedule and objectives for myself and the students to be able to view at any point when we're doing live instruction or recording for them. The schedule, I was hoping to start each day. We would normally have a morning meeting, so I'm hoping to continue that, and then I can give them an overview of these are the objectives and goals for today. I even have a mini chart that's going to help me organize small group instruction because my district is encouraging us and would like us to also have our small group guided reading instruction and our small group math instruction. And along with any children that might have needs of any kind that come up, whether it be an IEP or RTI or, I want to be able to accommodate all my learners, no matter what.
So, Phaedra, I see you have the first day of school date up on the board.
Yes, I do.
You are ready.
I am ready.
So, I want to emphasize that this setup is a great way to transition back to school. And Phaedra's school is as of right now, because as we know, everything changes constantly, right? So you are virtual to go back to school with the hopes of going in person, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So that's why I think this is extra special and unique, and I love it. Because when the kids do return, when you do your morning meeting, they will be familiar with the routine already.
Definitely.
This is great. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. So what I love that red case. And if everyone looks closely, it says what? Anchor charts. So what's going on here, Phaedra?
Oh, yes. And I have my anchor charts. So that's my file that I'm going to keep all of my anchor charts for all the subjects organized. So now you can see in this photo, that pink case is how I'll organize all of my anchor charts for all the lessons that have to do with our math, reading, and writing, and of course our content areas need be. And then I literally just took I think it's like a step stool that I put a cloth over, and I did a makeshift little bookshelf for myself.
Perfect. Yes.
I have some other resources that I know I'm going to have to quickly pull from. So that's what I did to establish that.
I love that. I mean, anybody can do that with a folding chair. I mean, you could do that with
Yes.
anything. I love that. So the one thing about anchor charts, which is different at the elementary level for, I was a secondary teacher for years, high school teacher. We're not big with anchor charts. So the one thing with anchor charts at elementary is you do them live. You do them with your students, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So as you complete them, will you photograph them and then put them up in your Microsoft Classroom or uh,
I
in OneNote?
on Teams. Actually, I made sure to practice and facilitate this for the 3 months in the spring. Um, anytime I shouldn't even say anytime. Every lesson that we have for math, reading, and writing, I always had an anchor chart for every specific skill. And through Teams, the students had at least 3 different places they could access those anchor charts. So after they were explained and introduced, they could then use them as a resource to help them with their independent work.
Wow. Talk about visual learning and visual references. That's fantastic. Okay, and we are back to our first slide. So I put this on here again because I wanted to talk about the map and the artwork. And will you add to the walls? Will you I guess, will you keep the anchor charts up? Will you add additional references? So like in my own classroom, if I saw students needed a visual reference, I would add it, of course. I mean, we all do that. Will you do that here?
I definitely will. For specifically for maybe a skill that I know they need that anchor chart regularly, for all of their practice work, for independent work, then I will keep that on display. This way we can refer to it. And for me in my regular classroom, I always have a math focus wall and I always have an English language arts focus wall, as well as a writing station that has everything they need for writing. So, I'm hopeful that I can recreate that, but in maybe a more concise way, so that for each topic or chapter or lesson that we are on for those subjects, yes, I'll have that reference. The students will have that reference. I am a visual learner. Students of this age are very visual. They need those references, so I want that readily available because I think it will really help guide the instruction and their learning.
So, love the tour, by the way. And when I come over, you're going to have to show me everything. So let's talk about your lighting. It's really good lighting to be in a finished basement. Tell me what kind of lights, where are they? Are they above you? Do you have a lamp nearby? What's going on?
Okay, so just to preface with, what's nice is this space happens to be enclosed, so there are no windows at all. And I really feel this soft yellow color on the walls definitely helps. But overhead, I basically just have two, what is it called?
LED. LED?
They're the LED,
Right.
LED lights, maybe similar to those rectangular panels that you might see like in an office or maybe a classroom.
Okay.
However, they're recessed, and that's a big difference because they're recessed within the ceiling and they're not hanging down, and it's LED, and it mimics natural lighting.
The white natural light.
Exactly. That's why it's a pure light.
Right.
And that lends itself to being able to create the bright colors in here as well.
So, you and I had talked about this. Anybody at home watching our video, those awesome ring lights everyone's buying on Amazon.
Yes,
I'm not going to stop anybody from buying them. They are awesome. But if you don't want to do it because of the budget or you just don't want to have that laying hanging around in your house, you can buy the LED white bulbs, put them in any lamp and put it close to you. I've had this for a few years. This is a mini ring light clip. See, it's got a little clip. You can purchase this on Amazon. It's very inexpensive. I can drop a link for everyone. You charge it. And with this clip, you just clip it right onto whatever device you're using, and it makes a world of difference. So that I recommend. Lighting is great. Stay away from the yellow lights, everyone. But also the white light makes everyone look really good, right? Love the white lights. Okay, and let's see. Let's talk about your technology. What device are you using? What are you going to use?
Okay, so for myself, I must again preface this by saying for the spring when I was home, I primarily utilized my iPad, and that worked very well for me. However, I think for the start of this September, I need to utilize my iPad, but also I have a MacBook Pro, and those two devices I'll use the most. But I was contemplating that my son, he actually has, which I can use, a Mac computer, it's desktop. And I was thinking about, maybe I need something more substantial that's a little more permanent that I could bring down here, get it going. It has the keyboard and the mouse.
Wait, is anybody using it?
No one is using it.
Okay, so I think the audience needs to take a vote. Who thinks Phaedra should bring the desktop downstairs, plug it in, and get it going? I raise my hand, yes. In the comments, we want to hear what you think. I think she needs the MacBook. No, it's not a MacBook. It's the Mac desktop.
Yeah, it's a Mac.
Wow.
I think with
That's nice.
yeah, I think it would really make the most sense.
That's great. So you're going to be virtual to start the school year. So what will you do? What will Phaedra McAllan do to keep herself motivated, stress-free? You and I talk about stuff like this all the time. Like I know it's summer. We're all more chill in the summer, right? But and I know in the spring was a little different because it was a lockdown. It was a shutdown. We'll call it a shutdown. And that's not necessarily going to be the case come September, but what will you do? Like what keeps Phaedra happy? Happy.
What keeps you happy? Number one is health. That's huge. It's really like conquering the negative thoughts because it's easier to speak to yourself negatively than positively. So it's really just positivity, and that's all again why I have this virtual classroom here surrounding me because I need it to feel comfortable.
So now, I don't know. I always got the impression, and we're similar this way. If you get up every day, you get dressed, you do yourself up a little bit, you feel good, right?
That is exactly it, and that is my biggest plan for the start of the school year. As you said, Danielle, it was different in the spring because it was very unexpected, so it was hard to navigate how you go about each day. But my goal for really positive well-being for this start is getting up, getting dressed, keeping the schedule in the morning, and I have a lot of doTERRA because I am big with the doTERRA. So I'm always going to have my peppermint.
Okay, my son's about to burst in.
Oh, there he is.
Okay. Thank you. Make sure Daddy's out there. We're not going to edit that. We're going to keep going. Okay. Cameron makes it into every video. Did you know that? Yeah. Yep.
So I've got my past tense, my motivate. These are my 3 go-tos whenever I'm teaching.
So those are essential oils?
Those are essential oils, and they're incredible. The motivate gets me going. The past tense is good for a headache. Peppermint wakes you up. And I have my diffuser, so I'm going to diffuse.
Okay.
And I love diffusing my citrus bliss. I also will have my herbal tea.
Do you ever take the essential oils and put them on like the pulse point or like do like, yeah.
Take this, right here. This, honestly, right here,
Get out.
peppermint oil.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to show everyone. So this is my this is a spray, essential oil spray. It's a peppermint. Now, a friend of mine told me like maybe like a year ago that if you have like PMS or anything going on with like men, you know, this is actually good. I was like, what, really? And I bought it, and it's just something nice to just go like this. Look, in the whole in the whole office, everything just
It comes to life and you feel good.
yeah. And I think I got this at the food store. You can go to the natural foods aisle and very inexpensive and it lasts you months.
Yes, and the spray is nice to have, definitely. But don't forget, diffusing is great too. The diffusing. And the same. Any of those natural stores or on Amazon, like you said, you can find small, simple diffusers just for your little area.
Simple, right. Okay. That's awesome. Do you practice mindfulness and these types of things with your students? Like, do you talk to them about their wellness, their um, social emotional learning experiences? Oh, look at that. Wait. Be still, my heart. That's amazing. So what's I see you have a little marker in the book. What page is that set on? Like what's your thing?
Well, this is just your play one. But what I love is it says the best we can be. And that is always my motto with my students. We want to be the best we can be. We want to be the most positive. And it's about the I can and I will. And that is what I'm constantly pushing, especially with fourth grade. There are hormonal changes starting to happen for the boys and the girls. There's a lot more expectation. They start, some kids can become stagnant because they have these learned behaviors of self-doubt. So it's always my job and my push to just the I can, the I will. I have a ton of growth mindset in my classroom, in my school. And I'm glad you brought this up, Danielle, because this is a huge part of what I hope to even instill within this virtual classroom as well, which is why I have this book among three others ready to go. And I actually have a lot of growth mindset anchor charts as well and posters that I utilize. And one thing I do want to mention, which is quite amazing, is something that I've done for a few years now is what we call a growth mindset portfolio. And that's something maybe for a different time.
Absolutely.
But I just want to put it out there that a growth mindset portfolio is absolutely amazing. And the kids thrive with it, and there is a way to design it and set it up and facilitate it. But again, that's for another day. But that's something I'm hopeful to continue when we physically get back into the classroom. And then my last note is I am in the thought process of how can I develop a virtual growth mindset portfolio, because that can be done obviously, but I need to take it one step at a time, right? We need to all remember to be kind to ourselves and baby steps, because too much too soon I think confuses us, and then our real goals aren't being met.
So I just had a light bulb moment when you said that with the baby steps. I think a lot of times teachers head into a new school year and they want to slam dunk the growth mindset, right? So they come out of the gate real fast with growth mindset, power of yet, grit. But then like by Christmas, are we talking about those things anymore? No. So it looks like you have a year of planned, continuous reinforcement with the growth mindset.
That is correct.
I love that.
One more thing I remembered, this is very important, because this is really something that applies to everybody at all age levels with teaching, and it connects to growth mindset. Something that I did in the spring, which I plan on continuing, is I decided to start what I call remote learning rockstar, and every day a different student was highlighted as the remote learning rockstar. And through Microsoft Teams, we're actually able to send out badges and awards specifically to anyone. So this remote learning rockstar is what I'm going share that.
I like that you said that you can keep up with it because I've been guilty of that where like, I've started a word wall, but then but then like 2 months into the word wall, you're like, I haven't updated that in a couple weeks. you know,
All about
right.
maintain because we're human also.
Yes, that's so true.
Trying to keep up with the pace. We want to keep up, but that's the key word, pace. There has to be the right amount of pace.
Right. Okay. So thank you so much. So you and I have left some, open topics on the table that we'd love to come back and talk about. I hope everyone I hope there were some takeaways. I would love to hear about them in the comments. Phaedra will be available to answer questions in the comments. Please don't be afraid to ask. Isn't she awesome? I love her. When am I going to see you again? Soon, I hope.
Oh.
Okay, good. And then I will say that this person here in this interview, she's taught me a lot about life, about teaching, about being a parent. I respect her so much, and I'm so happy that you're my first guest in this series. And thank you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of the group, and leave your questions in the comments. Good night, everyone.